Hey, good afternoon or good evening, First UB Church, all those that are joining us on Facebook Live or even on YouTube. Just wanted to talk to you for a couple minutes about some of the stuff that God's put on my heart as I get ready for our prayer gathering tonight starting at 7 o'clock and also Sunday morning service. So I was reading in the Old Testament today because I'm working through it chronologically this year in 2021. And one of the things that came about in my time with the Lord today was, Mark, do you trust me in that I am still sovereign over all? I mean, if you look in Genesis chapter 1, God said, and there was, over and over and over and over and over again. Do you trust me, Mark? Because in Egypt, when Moses allowed God to use him to create the snakes, did you notice that the magicians for Pharaoh also created snakes too? Did you notice that when the plagues came about, Pharaoh's magicians also created plagues? What's interesting about that conversation is that although they were able to create it, all they were doing is multiplying people's misery. They weren't able to do anything about God's sovereignty, his will, and his way, and they weren't able to do anything about taking those plagues away. So I have a question for you tonight. What's the one thing that's you're needing God to show up in? Can I just encourage you, if you're watching this video, to make some time, whether you're going to join us online from 7 to 8 o'clock tonight or you're going to join us in person, doesn't matter to me, but I'm pretty sure our nation doesn't need you sitting in front of the TV. Didn't yesterday, it doesn't today, and it won't tomorrow. What it does need is God's people who are called by my name, humbly submitting themselves to the Lord. As we'll talk about in Acts chapter 16 this upcoming Sunday, one of the most astounding things was in the midst of difficult times. I mean, Paul and Silas were thrown in jail for the most atrocious reason at all, setting a little girl free from demonic possession. Can you imagine that? But that's what happens in Acts chapter 16. And so they find themselves in jail, beaten, and in stocks for the night. But at 12 o'clock, around 12 o'clock, it says in Acts chapter 16, we find them doing what we should always be doing, and that's praising God, singing songs of praise, and praying. I wonder how much our lives would change if we would just push away from Facebook tonight from 7, 8 o'clock. If we would just push away from the TV from 7 to 8 o'clock tonight and humbly come before the Lord. I'm pretty sure that if God is sovereign over all of creation and we still believe that, then he's also sovereign over freedom from sin. And I am hoping and praying that as we seek God's face, he will forgive us and he will heal our land. It's a promise that he gave Israel a long time ago. And those of us that have chosen to follow Christ have been grafted into that promise. And so we can go before the Lord on our own behalf, our family's behalf, our neighbors' behalf, our community's behalf, the political government, whether local or in DC or even in our state's capital. We can go before the Lord and humbly submit to him and ask him to heal our land. And boy, does our land need healing. Needed it yesterday, needs it today, and it'll need it in every tomorrow. I sure hope that this points us in the right direction of coming before the Lord, understanding that he has set the precedent, and that is praise and prayer is the start of spiritual warfare. And it's time for the church to rise up. It's time for the church to rise up. It's time to push back from all of those things that distract us and press into God, to seek his face, and to pray that his sovereign hand will move powerfully. I hope that you'll join us either online tonight or maybe even in person. I'll see you at 7 o'clock. Until then, God bless. And if you don't get to join us tonight, maybe you can join us Sunday morning at either our 8 o'clock service or our 10:30 service, and enjoy that too. So until then, it's been great being with you. I hope that you have a great evening, and I will catch up with you later. Bye.